My name is John Potter. I'm the Executive Director of Latchis Arts, and it is my great privilege to welcome you to the beautifully restored Latchis Theater. Thank you. This would be a good time to remind you to please silence all your devices so that we can all enjoy this amazing show. Great. Thank you. Just one more thing, I'd like to call your attention to some of the other things we have coming up here at the Latchis. We have a lot of great stuff happening. Starting next Friday, October 31st, Halloween, we welcome the Brattleboro Film Festival here, and they will be here every night until November 9th with some amazing and diverse films, and we encourage you to come early and often to those. On Saturday, November 1st, we will be hosting the Boston Gay Men's Chorus in a retreat, in a benefit for the Brattleboro Retreat, and that's going to be another special night. So, encourage you to come to that as well. There's a lot of other stuff happening, including our simulcasts of the Metropolitan Opera, the National Theater, and the Bolshoi Ballet. Information about all of that, and information about how you can give to Latchis Arts and keep this place forever able to hold magical nights like this is available at our website at latchisarts.org, and we urge you to come there and check it out. So now, without any further ado, I'd like to introduce Reverend Lisa Sparrow of the Guilford Community Church.
I wanted to look at all of you. You know that you've bought these different tickets, blue, green. We call you the blue sky and the green fields and the golden leaves of autumn, and we are so happy you are here tonight. So I can't see you at all, which is a really good thing right now, but thank you for coming. I wanted to just take a minute to tell you about what your generous contributions and presence will mean to a little spot in Guilford. Some people say I'm sort of a dreamer, but I know I'm not the only one here, am I? No. This is sort of what we'd like to think of the Cathedral of the Divine. You are the divine ones, and you are here to help us. And this Latchis is a pretty divine space, I think. We met Paul Winter first through Wangari Maathai, and I suspect that many of you were here with me when she was here on this stage in about 2006. And at that time, our choir sang for her in Kikuyu as a sign of welcome to Brattleboro. And that was a pretty important beginning for us, besides her having planted a tree at our church in 2002, which was great. But that story is a long story, and one, if you invite me to tea, I'd love to tell you. But for tonight, this really came about, I think, at first from her memorial service, when we went down and the choir of the community, basically, many people from Brattleboro went under Peter Amidon's amazing leadership and sang in the Cathedral of the Divine, of St. John of the Divine in New York City. And that was our first connection with Paul Winter. Since then, our teenagers have gone to the summer solstice in the dark of morning, and then marched with him in the climate march. So we have a heart connection to his work to do with the earth, and we are so grateful that he's made our dream of having him come here come true. So we're so grateful. I wanted to talk a little bit about the project itself. And it's interesting that his music has so much to do with wolves, whales, birds, and the songs of friends to each other. Our church is located in wetlands, protected wetlands. I'm not sure how we pulled that off, but that's where we are. And the property next door has been for sale for a few years, and it looks like we're about to get the key to that property. And when we do, and thanks to you and this concert, we will begin clearing away the debris and clearing out invasive species and creating green space that we will open to the community. One of my favorite things at the church is that I almost every afternoon will hear the thunk of a basketball at our one little lone basketball hoop, or the screech of the chains when the kids are swinging. And we'd like to make that be an even bigger possibility for children. There's no playground in Guilford right now, just as there is no child care center. And so that's our dream, is that one day this whole space will be beautiful, protected woodland space brought up to its natural self, and the rabbits and the birds and the woodchucks will play there with children. So thank you for making this possible. Thank you to Paul Winter on the consort. Thank you to Frederick Johnson pianos. Thank you to Howie for his lighting, and to Peter for his sound, and to the amazing David Woodbury for his production, and to Latchis Theater, and to all of you. So now, let us dream together. Let it come true.
Thank you very much. Good evening, and our gratitude to all of you for coming to be with us here tonight. What a privilege it is to be back in Brattleboro in this beautiful theater and with these wonderful colleagues whom I'd like to introduce now. Playing cello is Eugene Friesen. I forgot to preface that with Brattleboro's own Eugene Friesen. Jeff Holmes on piano. And our percussionist, Todd Roach. And Steve Rice. And on this next piece, an honorary member of the consort who is with us on tape and in spirit, who sings after one of the most remarkable and certainly the most ancient traditions of music that we know on the planet, going back over 30 million years, the whale. And we've taken a short theme from a much longer humpback whale song recorded with underwater microphones near Bermuda by our friend Dr. Roger Payne, and used it as the theme I play on soprano sax, having set human harmonies to accompany what really is the melodic composition of some anonymous humpback whale. We call this the lullaby from the great mother whale for the baby seal pups. we'd like to now take you with us down the Colorado River through the Grand Canyon, a journey that we made on 3 separate occasions in the long process of making an album about the canyon. And in each of these 3-week-long river rafting recording expeditions through the 279 miles of the canyon that the Colorado traverses, we would raft for several hours each day and look for a side canyon or a sandy beach or a rocky ledge where we could make camp, and then set out with our instruments to some of these amazing acoustic spaces to see what they might evoke from us. And in this piece, we wanted to see if we could recreate some sense of experience of being on these rafts in which we traveled each day, and the kind of motion they have going through the waters, and the kind of emotion you experience going through the different rapids that journey presents. You'll hear in the beginning of this a voice that was with us almost every day of all of those journeys, a little bird called the canyon wren, whose cascading song always takes me back to the magic of the canyon lands of our Southwest. Thank you. I'm not sure how we follow that. Maybe just stop right here. Teresa will be back. Right now, we'd like to have you hear some unique music for cello and piano. Eugene Friesen and Jeff Holmes in First Ride. Back in the 60s, I had the privilege with my first band to do a tour for the State Department in Latin America. And in that 6-month adventure, we spent 1 month in the country of Brazil. And it was at the time when a new genre of music was blossoming there that they called bossa nova. And we were beguiled by that music, and it drew me to come back and live there for a year later in the 60s. And a few years ago, I did an album called Brazilian Days to revisit some of that music. Jeff Holmes on piano. Eugene Friesen. Todd Roach. This will be intermission. We'll be back with the choir. Thank you very much. Hang on a second, I want to just say something about this piece. In addition to the mass movements, which we're not going to do tonight, we're just doing these two pieces, but the mass, the Kyrie is based on a wolf howl, the Sanctus from a humpback whale song, and the Agnus Dei from the harp seals. And as in any mass, you're allowed to interject other pieces, other hymns. And one of the inspirations at this time, this is the early 80s, was this experience of seeing the entire Earth from space that the astronauts brought back to us. And I got to meet Rusty Schweikert, who'd been the first man to walk in space without an umbilical. And he described so eloquently the experience of having disconnected from the umbilical and done all the duties he needed to do to get out there. And then all of a sudden he's floating in space and he looks out and he sees this little blue marble that he could cover with his thumb, and he knows that everything that is dear to him is happening on that blue marble out there. And it was a great breakthrough for our species to have that perspective, and we wanted to reflect that in this Earth Mass. And so from that came this piece, which is called The Blue-Green Hills of Earth. We wanted to salute our great friend Pete Seeger tonight and honor the amazing legacy that he's left for so many of us. We had a particular privilege to work with Pete on an album in the mid-90s and record in my barn in Connecticut. And it's an album that was called Pete, and this was the final track, which is Pete's song. It's the most moving goodbye song that I've ever heard. It's called To My Old Brown Earth.
You know, Pete Seeger wrote this song 50 years ago, which is kind of amazing that he wasn't one to jump on a bandwagon. He built the bandwagon. He wrote it for a friend's memorial, but I think of it more as a love song to this place. To my old brown earth and to my old blue sky, I now give these last few molecules of I. And you who sing, and you who stand nearby, I do charge you not to cry. Guard well our human chain, watch well and keep it strong, as long as sun will shine. And this our home, keep pure and sweet and green. For now I'm yours, and you are also mine.
Andy Davis on banjo and voice. And this is a song that's become part of the Mass in recent years, and also part of many of our other programs. The words were written by John Greenleaf Whittier in the early 1870s as a poem of reconciliation after the Civil War. And over 100 years later, Paul Halley, our longtime colleague at the Cathedral and in the Consort, wrote this song on those words. It's called Sound Over All Waters.
Of the angels when Jesus was born, with glad jubilation, bring hope to the nation that the dark night is ending and dawn has begun. Dawn has
How about this chorus? Wow. Bravo, bravo. They'll be back. like to invite all of you to join us in a Hallelujah chorus for the Guilford Community Church. Bravo. Let's head for Washington in the morning. We'll get him. Hang on a second. Let me stop this. We want to play something for Wangari Maathai. This is a village song from Africa in which everybody participates, and that's the whole deal. It's all about us. And you have a part in this, which I'll tell you about or remind you about a little bit later. And it's a song that we've loved for many years, and it's called Minuit, Midnight. Minuit, part. Ya-da-da-da, 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 We want you to sing and clap at the same time. You don't have to chew gum. Minuit, summer say, minuit, minuit, summer say. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Minuit, summer say, minuit, yeah. Minuit, summer say, midnight has come. I hear music and I'll keep on
Singing midnight
has come.
I hear music and I keep on singing midnight has come. I hear music and I keep on singing midnight has come. I hear music and I keep on singing da-da-da-da,
just the voices. Beautiful. Wow. Peter Amidon, this wonderful community choir. Teresa Thomason. Eugene Friesen. Jeff Holm. Todd Roach. Steve Rice. My daughters, Kayana and Pitu Winter. And Peter Wildermuth on sound. Thank you all very, very much. Thank you. You were just so wonderful and so patient. I'd like to play a piece from my favorite composer for you that links up with, for me, with a voice of this, what I call this greater symphony of the earth. It's been very meaningful to me where I lived for several decades in Northwest Connecticut. I'm talking about the wood thrush. And when I first came there, I was thrilled that every acre or so, when I'd walk through the woods, I'd hear a different wood thrush call, as each had their own territorial song and repeated them again, often 4 phrases repeated again and again as the whales repeat their much, much longer songs again. But in recent years, I find I have to go much further to find the next song, as they're not making it back from their wintering grounds in Costa Rica for all the reasons you know about habitat loss, toxins, hunting, and I guess we've lost something like 70% of our songbirds in recent decades. And so I think about, well, what could this voice do for any of that? And it occurred to me that if enough of us heard it and heard the beauty of it and treasured it the way we treasure these great art works for which we build museums around the world, and to realize that the only way our children and their grandchildren could experience the treasure of this voice would be if we find the ways to turn around this downward spiral of destruction we've set in motion. And I thought, well, maybe this little nondescript looking bird can make a contribution to that. So with that optimism, I want to play this song by Johann Sebastian Bach with the voice of the wood thrush. I want to extend a big, big thank you to Mary Davidson, who was the catalyst that made all this possible. And to Lisa Sparrow Pepin and to Cloud Pepin for your wonderful work. And to all of you who came and howled with us. It's been a great privilege to be with you tonight. And we hope to see you again. Thank you very, very much.